guys, let's talk makeup. So today I want to do something a little bit different with this video because a lot of times, especially when a new collections, new makeup is being released, we all get into the mindset of I need to have it before everyone else, all of that. And I'm so guilty of that. It's just so easy to get caught up in that when you're on Instagram on a daily basis and you're watching YouTube videos on a daily basis and all of that. Lately, there's been a few announcements of new makeup that is coming out that I can already feel the buzz building on it. And some of that is artificial, right? We know. Some of that is just the brand itself building up the buzz about it rather than actual, like, more genuine and natural kind of buzz about it, or people genuinely super interested about it. So anyway, enough with that. So one of the things that is coming out is a Lorac Pro palette, and Lorac Cosmetics has one of my favorite eyeshadow formulas. I haven't liked a whole lot of their other products. Like, I have their eyeliner I recently did a video on that I don't like. Their eyeshadow primer did not work or the best on me, and I don't have a whole lot of other products from them, but I do have a whole lot of eyeshadow product from them because I love their eyeshadow formula. It is super powdery, so if you don't like a powdery formula, you're not going to like the Lorac formula. I, however, I don't mind the powderiness, and I love the formula because it's really buttery, easy to use. I feel like these shadows are very easy for a beginner to use, and I have been using them ever since I first got into makeup. And my very first Lorac eyeshadows were from the Lorac Pro palette. The beauty of this palette and of the way Lorac designs their palettes is that you always get 2 rows. You get at least 2 rows, I shouldn't say, because the Lorac Mega Pros have more, but a row of mattes and a row of shimmers. And both the quality of the shimmers and of the mattes is truly excellent. So this is the Lorac Pro once again. So this is like the most basic kind of eyeshadow palette you could ever need. My favorite look with it is to use this mauve in my crease, then pretty much any of these light shimmers on my lid, and then I go in with the dark brown on my outer corner. So either Sable or Espresso, and it looks like I've used Sable more. But as you can tell on here, I've used all of these shadows, but I haven't gotten as much use out of this as I would like, because sometimes it's really also super easy to ignore kind of the basic palettes that just give you the basics of what you will need for an eye look. I don't have the Lorac Pro 2 because it's very cool tone, and it just wasn't calling my name, so I never got that one. But I do have the Lorac Pro 3. This is what it looks like in case you've never seen it. So again, all neutral shades, all very basic. Once again, the top row of all mattes and then the bottom row of all shimmers. This is another really nice palette. Is it giving you something that is extremely different from what the one was giving you? No, not necessarily. These are all neutrals, beautiful shades. These tend to be a little bit lighter colors. But you're getting some darks over at the end. So I just really liked it. I liked the Lorac formula, so I'd gotten it. But once again, because they are neutrals, I've gotten use out of this palette, but not as much as I would like to have gotten out of it. Basically, the recurring pattern with my Lorac palettes is that I love them. I love the formula, but I don't get as much use out of them because I'm always reaching for something else, and it sucks. Or it has really made me reflect on things because it's a formula that I really love, and it's making me think twice about getting the new Lorac Pro 4 palette, which will be like these two. It'll be a row of mattes, a row of shimmers, and really purpley tones. So I'll insert a picture of it now. But I want to show really quickly my Lorac Makeup Pros because I do own all of those. So the first is the original. This is the original Mega Pro, and it has 2 rows of mattes, 2 rows of shimmers. Oh, and these shades are super, super gorgeous. I'm not swatching all of these because these are one old palettes, and so you might have already seen, but I can swatch a few. Oh, look at that color. That color really speaks to me. But lately I've been using Wisteria, Dusty Plum. These are all mattes. I'm picking out all the mattes because that's one thing that Lorac does really well. I think it's the mattes. And like I said, the shimmers are good too. But the shimmers here are also very, very pretty, very workable, working out for any kind of neutral look you might want to do. Next up is the Lorac Makeup Pro 2. Look at this palette. Look at this palette. This is one of my favorite of the Mega Pros. Again, two rows of mattes, 2 rows of shimmers. Very neutral tones, but it has some really interesting colors. I really like these purples over here. I like that there's this blue over there, but I basically, again, like the mauve tones that are here, and those are the kinds of tones that I really, really gravitate towards. I've gotten, then there's this, this olive with real olivine, sorry, is really, really gorgeous. Again, super gorgeous palette. The Lorac Makeup Pro 3 is the white palette that is so easy to get dirty, and hopefully this will come out right. This one's a little bit more interesting than the other two. I don't want to leave it up too long because it messes with the white balance of the camera, but this one has some really pretty dusty, rusty, kind of peachy tones over here. So to me, this is what I use when I want kind of peachy tones. That's what I go to. But then it has this really interesting like pomegranate shimmer. Oh, I just think it's really pretty. And again, it has enough of those mauve mid-tone colors that I just really, really love. But now, as you've seen, before I get to Mega Pro 4, all of these big palettes have mid-tone mauves, which are the ones I gravitate towards. But do I need all of these palettes with those mauve tones? No. Truth is, I don't. But here's the Mega Pro 4. So this is the pink one, and this one has a little bit more variety from the other Mega Pros. So again, 2 rows of mattes, 2 rows of shimmers. It's got a green, a blue, different shades of like purpley pinkies. And so this one has a little bit more variety, but they're all still neutrals. This one has like a little pastel corner over here. So for me, it was worth it to get them every time. I totally went to the hype, etc., etc. But I am forcing myself to look through and use all of these palettes. I have been using them over the last week because I want to remind myself that even though I really love this formula, it's not absolutely necessary that I buy the Pro 4 palette. Now, can I guarantee you that I will never buy the Pro 4 palette? No, of course I can't guarantee it. But I am going to not purchase it right away. Like, I'm fortunately going to be traveling when it gets released. And so I'm not going to run out and get it automatically. So instead, I'm going to enjoy the shadows that I do already own from Lorac. So what I want to do today is do a look with you all, so that I can really convince myself here that I, in fact, don't need a new one, because the ones that I have work perfectly fine. So this is not a tutorial. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just going to do what I like to use these palettes for, which is just super basic, pretty looks. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to use the Mega Pro 2 because I think this is one of the few that I haven't used in the last. Alright, I'm going to go in with a cooler tone. I'm going to go in with Saddle, which looks like I haven't really gotten a whole lot of use out of. But let's go in with Saddle. I'll get a little bit closer to here and put that on the crease. This is a ColourPop brush, by the way, Oh, and also in case you don't know, these palettes have huge mirrors, which is really cool. So let's see if I can do a good job of showing you what I'm doing. One, I do have primer on. I have the Milani eyeshadow primer, and then on top of that I have my Smashbox lip primer. Wow, did you all see how patchy that came on? So I'm not sure why this shadow is applying so patchy. This is not the experience I normally have with Lorac shadows. It is patchy as all hell. Wow, okay. This is really, really bad. Like really, really bad. Ugh. Could it just be that shadow? Let me go in with something else. Let me go in with Tawny. Let me go with Tawny and try to just fix this ugly patchiness. Wow. Okay, yeah, it might just be that color. This one's applying a lot better. Okay guys, so that saddle shade is the worst, and yeah, sure enough, its swatch is super patchy. So I had for sure never used that one before, and now the rest of the look is just going to be me trying to fix that bullshit. Alright, let's go in with Olivine, which is this really pretty olive shimmer. This color I know performs really well because it was like the first shadow that I really gravitated towards. So see this one. Now this one is performing the way my Lorac shadows normally perform, which is beautifully. And I'm gonna mix it in with Gold Leaf. Actually, I'm gonna put a little bit of Gold Leaf on the center of the lid, as I think this gives it more dimension. And I'm going to go in and blend that part. Now what I'm going to do out on the outer corner is I'm going to go in with Cabernet. And Cabernet is this kind of mauvey purpley brown over here, and I think that will help me fix the BS that Saddle did on my look, because that was a huge disappointment, and I'm so sorry to have brought you along for that. Oh, see, okay, see, this is the way the Lorac mattes normally perform. Just so you don't think I was lying to you, because if you've never tried the Lorac formula, it really is gorgeous. Once in a while, you get some duds though. And that one was clearly a dud, and I don't think I ever heard anyone talking about what a huge dud that is. Perfect. So I'm going to go in the lower lash line now, and I'm going to go into the lower lash line with Goji, which is my favorite color in this particular palette. So see what I mean with powdery? Normally I'm used to applying my makeup, my eye makeup first before everything else, and that kind of fixes this kind of issue that you have with these super powdery shadows. And I'm back. I did go back into the eye look and did a little bit more blending, just because I always have like one eye which I don't blend enough. And I know I'm not the only one, but it just always happens, and a lot of times I don't notice until hours after I make a look. Anyway, so a few things we learned there. One, this is still my favorite formula, one of my favorite formulas of eyeshadows, but that doesn't mean there aren't duds. In this palette, I didn't know, because I haven't gotten enough use out of these palettes, that Saddle is a total dud. And what a shame, because it's a really pretty cool tone brown, which there are never enough of. Here's the swatch of it. That was super patchy on my eye. So I'm going to avoid that color from now on. There have been other duds in these palettes. In the Lorac Pro 3, there's this really pretty color Medallion over here. This is a glittery shit show. Glittery mess. You see that? How it's not that is powdery is just, it's just not good. And applying it on the eye is really difficult because it's so much like loose glitter in there, so that it always goes flying everywhere and there's not enough that gets deposited on your eye. So that's a problem area right there. I haven't had any other issues with any of the other shadows in these palettes, so just FYI, but I'm going to keep using these shadows so that I can go in and really discover how many dots are actually in these palettes, because, you know, maybe the problem is I haven't gotten enough use out of them, and in which case then that'll dissuade me from buying the Lorac Pro 4. But what do you think? Have you been getting enough use out of your Lorac shadows? I know I definitely have not, but I'm making a concerted effort to get more use out of my Lorac shadows because I really love them. And I don't know yet if I'm going to get the Lorac Pro or not. But tell me, what are you thinking? Are you going to get the Pro 4? Help me make my decision. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.